What I'm about to open here is the QK75 by QWERTYKEYS. As the name suggests, it's an exploded 75% board launched as the third member of the QK family after QK65 and QK60. And like the rest of the QWERTYKEYS lineup, it's incredibly affordable. So how affordable is it? The cheapest kit you can spec out works out to be $135 before shipping. This configuration would get you an anodized case, solder PCB without any plates, but would come with all the accessories and parts like knob or badge and different foams. The unit I received had the red anodized case with the matte black weight, and everything is nicely packaged in the QK branded carrying case and a separate accessory packaging. Before we dive in, I want to apologize for the late upload of this video, and I'm sorry that I couldn't finish this video before the group buy ended on the 12th. I unfortunately had a really bad case of COVID when I got COVID for the second time a couple of weeks ago, which put me out of commission and without a voice. I poured many days into this video and was also super excited to try a new format, so I decided to still release this even though I didn't meet the deadline. So thanks for understanding, and I hope you all like this video. Rather than another video of me unboxing a bunch of parts and building it to my taste, instead I want to go over a few features of the QK75 that I personally think are worth highlighting. Then I'm going to test out some of the requests you guys made when I posted this Instagram story. Okay, so let's dive into the features. First and foremost, it's almost impossible to separate OwlLab and QWERTYKEYS from the various foam config options that revolutionize the hobby space. The QK75 comes with 3 optional foam parts that you can use to fine-tune the sound profile as well as the typing feel. These 3 pieces are case foam, which can be placed between the bottom case and the PCB, PE foam, which is placed on top of the PCB before you install your stabilizers to give the signature poppy sound, and lastly, the plate foam that you place on top of the PE foam before your plate. Next feature is something I personally enjoy the aesthetics of, but I do acknowledge that it might not be a significant feature per se for some folks. I'm talking about the red brass internal weight, as QK calls it. As a big fan of what copper can do to the visuals of a keyboard, I love the way this red brass internal weight is designed to cover the battery compartment elegantly. I'm not 100% sold on the browser window design and would have preferred just a simple QK stamping, but maybe it'll grow on me. Which leads perfectly into the next feature. So why is there a battery? Well, because the QK75 is one of the few custom boards, good custom boards, that are designed from the beginning to accept a wireless PCB. You just need to connect 2 little cables to the daughter board and another short cable to the PCB, and that's all you need to do to set up your tri-mode wireless PCB. I do recommend using a pair of needle nose tweezers just to make your life easier though. It might be due to the Satisfaction 75 popularizing rotary encoders, often referred to as a knob, but I truly love how a knob looks on a 75% layout. Honestly, it just looks right to me, and QK delivered this perfectly while taking it one step further. The QK75 can either be built with a knob or a clean magnet mounted badge, and all you need to do is install or uninstall this magnet holder to the top case. And you know what is absolutely crazy? The QK75, a budget board that could be had for anywhere between $135 and $200 is the first board that I've tried with a no solder design rotary encoder daughter board, which essentially makes that the entire board is truly hot swap, even down to the knob. And here's the last notable feature, the unique mounting mechanism that involves these gaskets that look like mini dumbbells, which you slide directly onto the PCB. This provides a nice bouncy typing feel while keeping installation extremely simple. Unlike some boards where you could easily spend 15 minutes plus just aligning and sticking on pour-on gaskets onto either the plate or case. Alright, let's pop in some stabs and take a peek at the replies you guys sent to my Instagram story. Okay, so the first build config is a few of your requests forged into one, and good thing the R&D KBD team sent me some fresh U4Ts recently because a lot of you asked for U4Ts. Then I was debating on which plate to use, and you guys made it super easy by requesting a plateless build. Usually I strongly recommend plateless builds to be built on solder PCBs, but I had seen my friend Ansel's video a week ago where he builds it plateless with a hot swap PCB and it worked, so I followed suit. Please enjoy some B-roll footage of the building process while I go take some cough syrup to tame my cough. For keycaps, I initially thought it would be hard to match a set with this bold red case, but the EPVT Be The One surprisingly worked perfectly. Be The One is one of my favorite sets this year, and the extras are still in stock somehow, so I'll leave a link in the description as well. Alright, you guys asked for it. Here is how a plateless hot swap stock boba U4T build with no foams sound in the QK75. Before we move on to the second requested configuration, we're gonna have to take it apart first. But thanks to the hot swap PCB and knob, all you need is some keycap and switch pullers. And you can actually see here that because we built this hot swap PCB in a plateless way, the switch came out while still being attached to the keycap when you try to remove the keycaps. This isn't a big deal, but it's a bit of a pain to try and separate the two, and it's easy to poke yourself with the metal pins on the bottom of the switch, so be careful. And that is why I have a band-aid on my thumb in the upcoming clips. So the next reply I picked was the Oil Kings request, since it's one of my current favorites, and I decided to go with the PC plate with just the plate foam, which is typically my preferred foam config for QK boards. Let's check out how it sounds. Should we check out some requests that went beyond build suggestions? Here's one from Ken. Don't try this at home. Let's see what else we have. Well, Trevor wants a water test on the QK75. Of course, this is a must-have feature for modern day custom boards. And unfortunately, I'm not qualified enough to perform these very scientific, high caliber tests, so I'll stick to sound tests. But I'll leave these up to the pros like my friend Gavin here. Okay, let's wrap it up here before this video gets any more derailed. So here are my closing thoughts. As of December 15th, 2022, QK75 is the best 75% board for any newcomers to the hobby, and here's why. 1. You can test out various available plates and foam options to figure out what you like. 2. The wireless connectivity and true hot swap ability, including the knob, makes the QK75 extremely approachable. 3. All of this greatness comes at an incredibly low price point, starting at $135 US. So if you missed a group buy, again, I'm sorry. I hope you can try the QK75 through Extras Drop or the aftermarket.